Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And it is another brand new episode of Who's That Cosplayer? And, as you guys can see, I got my hair slicked back. I got the black lines in it. And I'm not a hero today. I'm a villain. You can call me Yoshikaga Hero Bank Santa. There we go. That's what we're going with. But today, joining me on Who's That Cosplayer is a phenomenal guest, somebody who I had the opportunity to meet over on Instagram, and that is Tequila Joestar. Tequila, how are you doing today?
Pretty good, got a ton of makeup on my face and I am fantastic.
Hey, that is awesome. That is awesome. And I can't wait to talk about that in today's interview because like I had told you before, your makeup game is fire, as my boy Trav likes to say. So before we get into today's interview, everybody that's watching, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And as D always says, podcast link down below in the description. Like, follow, subscribe. So let's go ahead and get into today's interview. So Tequila, first question that I ask each and every guest up here on Who's That Cosplayer is, what is your origin story? Every hero or villain has one. So tell everybody who you are, and we're both villains right now. Yeah, that's kind of
awesome. Like name and everything,
how did you get into cosplay? Like who was Tequila before they became a cosplayer?
I was a writer and an artist. My mom's a writer, so I kind of get that from her, and I'm like a self-taught digital artist too. I'm a nerd. I got into JoJo in about 2020, and that's kind of consumed me. Hence Bucciarati, Funny Valentine, and then above me is Remy. Nice. I got into Danganronpa at around that, like in 2019, I would say. I'm no longer in the fandom, but I saw it, and then I joined TikTok, and then I discovered this thing called Danganronpa cosplays. It was like mid-year, but like past my birthday. So I decided to put it on my wish list for Hanukkah. Put Junko and Ashima and Monokuma on my wish list, and then I got it. And that's basically where I started. So yeah.
Nice. Hey, that's a nice origin story, and it's crazy because Danganronpa, like I hear that so much from fans of the series and whatnot, and we actually interviewed Amanda C. Miller, who voices the character that who you cosplayed as. I don't know the character's name. I always forget it. What is her name?
Junko and Ashima. There
we go. Yeah, and if you guys want to check out that interview, it is up here on our YouTube, or you can listen to it on the podcast. But I think that's awesome that that's what led to you wanting to be a cosplayer. Now, when you did that cosplay, did you attend a con with that cosplay on, or did you attend cons later on in your life?
The first con I ever cosplayed to was TwitchCon in 2019, and I wore a Keith from Voltron cosplay without any makeup. It fit fine, but like I didn't really cosplay after that until the next year. And I primarily started cosplaying like mainly to create content on TikTok, because like I've always had a dream of being like famous, and TikTok was somewhat of a way to get there.
Yeah.
No, I did not. The first con I went to after I started cosplaying was LA Comic-Con last year. Almost exactly, because I leave this Friday to go to LA Comic-Con this year too. Nice. But no, I mainly cosplayed at home. Because if I had gone out and cosplay to a con, looking back, I would have been so embarrassed, because I did not do any makeup except for crusty purple lipstick and like those white eyeliner freckles.
Yeah.
That was it. Nothing. The wig wasn't styled. The outfit was no accessories. I mean, you don't need accessories to be a good cosplayer. You don't need any of that to be a good cosplayer. I just personally, if I wore that to a con and I looked back on it, if I like got a photo with someone, I would be humiliated. I was like, did I really look like that?
it's funny. I mean, because it's like, I feel like those are the humble beginnings that every cosplayer has, and then you see the content that you have put out over the years, and like you leveled up. And I think it's interesting too, like how you had mentioned TikTok, because it's funny because when TikTok first came out, like, and they used to have ads for it and whatnot, all it was just people lip syncing songs and whatnot. And I was just like, eh. But now I feel like the cosplay community has taken over TikTok. Like, I don't even see videos of people lip syncing. I mean, I still see them, but it's more like cosplay transitions down, or stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, like, that's what cosplayers do. It's like the nerds rule the world. So I gotta ask you, like, what have been some of your favorite con moments from over the years?
Con moments?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. I mean, last year I got to meet what's his name? He voices Kyoya in Lauren High School Host Club. God damn, I know his name, but I don't.
I'm about to look it up.
So I met him, and then I also met John Scott Barrowman from one of my favorite shows, Doctor Who and Torchwood.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a Toko Fukawa cosplay. She's the one with braids who has yeah. So I was cosplaying her, and I met them both. And that was pretty awesome. Some people wanted to take photos with me, and I made a cosplay friend that I got to collab with like a month later.
Nice.
So that was cool too. And yeah, con is great, and I love it. It's just great. That was, yeah.
Yeah, and just to let you know, to piggyback, J. Michael Tatum.
Yes, J. Michael Tatum. I love him. Mm-hmm. He's great.
Yeah. I love what you were saying about like, the cons and like, having people take photos with you and whatnot. And I feel like it's like going to a con not in cosplay is fun. I feel like that it's less hassle as well, because it's like when you're in the cosplay, it's just like, you're expecting, people to stop you, take photos. If you're wearing makeup and whatnot, you have to make sure that your makeup is right. Whereas if you just go there normally, it's like you're just taking photos. It's kind of like being a kid in the candy store. And, since I'm talking about makeup, and it's something that I mentioned at the start of this, and something that you also mentioned when you first started, like your makeup progression is phenomenal. Like, I love how, you use makeup for all of the cosplays that you do, especially the JoJo ones. And you look like you come straight out of the anime or manga. So I just want to know, like, let's talk about the makeup skills. Like, from where you started at to where you are now, like, how's that progression been?
So I first started out not knowing how to do makeup. I barely had any. I used most of my mom's makeup, and she did my makeup for me. And then she signed me up for this like thing on this program called Outschool. It was like on how to do drag. And like, that taught me how to do some stuff, but not really. I'm not a fan of like art classes in any form, unless it's theater.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like I'm always restricted to like what they want me to do instead of what I want to do. So after that, like, I tried it a couple times, and it was like really heavy, but it made me want to do more.
Mm-hmm.
So I started looking at other people doing their cosplay makeup on TikTok. I started experimenting with my own thing. And then I started like doing my eyeliner for school every day, crazy makeup looks. And now like I have a style of makeup, and I cannot live without eyeliner or just red lipstick.
Nice. And it's crazy because I want to ask you this question now, because when I did makeup for the first time for my Kisame cosplay, it took me about like a good 30 to 45 minutes to apply everything. So that way that, everything was right. I did mess up, and that's the reason why it took me so long, because I had sprayed the stand spray, and I don't know, I was an idiot. Like, I had my eyes open when I sprayed.
No! Never have your eyes open when you're spraying something. That's a horrible idea.
Yo, like my eyes got watery, and it was just like all the makeup, the black that was on the face, it just all started coming down, and I was like, no, like everything looked so perfect, and that's a learning lesson to anybody that wants to do makeup. Close your eyes, like don't have your eyes open. Like,
who's that cosplayer?
Joestar.
I want to know, like, how long does it usually take you to get ready when you put your makeup and everything on?
Normally in the mornings, but if I have enough time, it usually takes about 15 minutes. This took like 20. Like with the white face. The white face paint was the hardest part, actually, because I am already very pale.
Yes.
So to make it, excuse me, to make it look better, I had to like go over it multiple times and use a ton of setting powder. But it looks like this, and it looks pretty good. And I also didn't do a very intricate eye look today, so that also took less time.
Nice.
But, yeah.
So what advice would you give to, you know, anybody that wants to get into like makeup for their cosplays, and what are some products that you would recommend to people?
What would I recommend? When doing your eyeliner, try to go down from the edge of your eyebrow instead of straight out, because going straight out makes your eyes look more downturned, and going up like gives you some lift and some like drama. You are very unfocused.
I know. I wasn't gonna say anything. Hold on. I gotta stop the video. I don't know what just happened. I was gonna fix it real quick. I don't know what happened, but yeah, okay. If you want to start over from where you started at, then I can just edit this part in.
Okay, so some tips, like for instance, when doing your eyeliner, go in from like the center, from like from the end of your eyebrow down to the corner, instead of going straight out, because going straight out, it makes your eyes look more downturned, and like going upwards gives you like some drama, and like, yeah, and gives you more opportunity to do things around the eye too. And then for contour, if you don't have a contour palette, I just use the brown shades in my eyeshadow, in my like big eyeshadow palette mainly. So yeah. And then products that I recommend, it's $25 from MAC, but like it's one of the best things to ever exist. And also NYX eyeliner, NYX felt tip eyeliner, no, liquid eyeliner. It's the best thing. Every single cosplayer needs it if you want to do eyeliner, and also JoJo lines. It's one of my best friends, and I always get so sad when I run out of it.
I feel like that sucks when because you get the makeup and whatnot, and it feels like that there's a lot in there, which there is a lot, but then it's just like, depending on what you're trying to do, you can go through the makeup like that. And because it's like, I would love to do the Arlong cosplay from One Piece, but I'm just like, yo, like, I feel like I'm gonna need a ton of makeup because I gotta cover like my face and my body and blue paint and whatnot. And I'm like, do I use a paint roller? Like, what else? What's gonna be easy for me to get all this paint on? So I think that that's some really solid advice that you gave. So now, you know, since we've been talking about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and we love it and whatnot, I gotta ask you, which JoJo is your favorite JoJo?
Jonathan, easy.
Hey, I love that. Jonathan is an underrated Joestar. I know a lot of people.
He deserves so much better.
Yeah. Do you have a Jonathan figure?
No, but I do have a little Jonathan charm that I got at Comic-Con last year.
That's awesome. Yeah, man. People sleep on Jonathan. People sleep on part one. I like part one. A lot of people like people say, "Oh, I need to skip part one," but part one is so good. I just think that they're haters. But I mean, well, which part is your favorite part?
Oh man. Either part 1 or part 7. The character design in Part 7 is absolutely gorgeous, hence why I spent half my paycheck on a Funny Valentine cosplay instead of something else. Part 1, just because, you know, it's Jonathan and I love him. I also really like the vibe of Part 1 because like it's, even since there are no stands, it's a lot of ass pulling, I will say.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I feel like Part 2 has a lot more ass pulling because there's times
like
where,
the way he pulled the Tommy gun.
Yeah, Joseph should have been dead. Like, I don't know how he survived the fight against Cars. Like, to be honest, I don't know. That straight ass.
He launched him into space because that makes sense.
Exactly, and then he survived somehow, like coming from the sky. Like it's weird, but that's why it's called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, because it's meant to be bizarre. That makes sense. So, now I want to know, which villain is your favorite villain? I mean, I feel like I kind of know this, but I may be wrong.
Oh, who am I kidding? It's Funny Valentine.
You said on Funny Valentine?
Yeah, funny. Sorry. Oh, who am I kidding? It's Funny Valentine.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like that's who it was going to be because you love Part 7 so much. So I was just like, yeah, I mean, if it's not funny, then who else could it be? All right, but since I already knew that it was going to be Funny Valentine, who would be your second favorite villain? There we go.
Now that's something I got to think about. Are we talking overarching villain or like minor villains?
You know what? Somebody had gave me a minor villain during a recent interview, so you can say a minor villain if you like, because nobody ever says minor villains for real.
Steely Dan.
I love Steely Dan. I watched the video when I love he's begging and pleading Jotaro. I'm sorry, and then Jotaro, he's just sitting there writing those notes the entire time, and that beatdown was amazing. And I don't know about you, but whenever he goes flying into the building, I always I always hear Goofy when he gets thrown somewhere, like, I don't know. That's what I always think about whenever Steely Dan goes flying. So, now we're getting close to the end of the interview, and I got to ask you this question because the Great Gingerbread War is coming up, and I got to know, like, what has been one of your favorite Christmas moments from over the years?
All right, so I am Jewish.
Okay.
For the record, I do not celebrate Christmas. Like, going to church, I still get presents from my Christian family, but can I say my favorite Hanukkah moment?
Let's do that. Because I've never had, let's do that. That's awesome.
So there's just a vibe every Hanukkah night. It's cold, it's nice, and you light the candles, and you open presents, and it's one of the coziest things. Also, latkes, potato pancakes. Fantastic. Perfect.
Okay. I've never had a potato pancake, but I would love to have one day. Because you just did the fantastic. So it just makes me think.
I mean, you have to get one that's good.
Mm-hmm.
But when you find a good potato and oil, what more do you want?
I love that so much, man. So, Tequila, we're here at the end of the interview. And again, you were an amazing guest. I'm happy that we were able to do this.
Me too.
Before I let you go, let everybody in social media land know where they can find you at.
Oh, yeah. So on TikTok, I am just Tequila Joestar, no space, no anything. On Instagram, I'm tequila.joestar. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are my only main two socials.
Yeah, all right. Hey, and y'all know where y'all can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Bank on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you all for watching this interview. Make sure you check out some more interviews we have here on the channel, along with reviews and reaction videos. Check out our podcast. We have brand new episodes every Tuesday. The link is down below in the description. And with that being said, keep that pinky up, stay positive, prepare for the Great Gingerbread War. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Bye.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. podcast. We got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.